Hi everyone. As you can see, I've got a Christmas tree here, and yes, it's only June, but we decided on the group that we would put together these. So I've already put it together, and I'm only going to show you the quilting that I'm putting on it in various places to help you along. So I'm going to first start in this very light green, and I've got quite a darker shade which I'm going to put in there, and I'm going to do swirls in it. I've already stitched in the ditch around 90% of it. They're not all going to be uniform, nor going the same way. Just take your time and fill the space with And there we have our first one. And I'm just going to lift this and take it over to the next one. Now I'm staying within the centre and moving out like that. So in all these lime green ones, as I would call the colour, I'm going to do these swirls. And there we have all the light green ones done. So we're going to go from the middle to the edge. So I'm just going to do my spine. Little loop on the top. And come back down as close to it as you can get. It isn't the end of the world if it doesn't go on entirely. Especially when you've got dark thread. It makes no difference. So I'm just going to tilt this around so that I'm coming up this way for my feathers. And I'm just doing our humpback feather, which, if you remember, is half a bird's wing around the sun. Come back to your spine. Half a bird's wing around the sun. And we'll do that all the way to the top. can see, and I have deliberately chosen this dark thread so that that spine is quite emphasized. I wanted to see it there. So I'm going to go all the way up now, doing my feathers this way and that way, and we'll come back when we get to the top. So now I'm going to do these next darker green, and I'm going to do a figure 8 in a dark green in the same colour that I used for the feathers. So it's quite dark, but it'll match in and hide into this dark green. Because once I've done the figure 8s, I'm then going to use this nice bright lime green on top of it and put a secondary design on top. And that will look quite nice. First of all, I'll go in and put all my figure 8s in, right the way to the top. And this is just going to blend into the background, but it will give texture. And then when I put the secondary design on top, it will look good. So I've completed all the dark ones with the figure 8s, and I've gone all the way to the top and back, and I've come back to put this lime of green on, and I'm doing like a wavy line and then a little flower, or a little squiggly flower, and I'm going to do that all the way up to give it a secondary design. So you just where your figure 8 goes around in its circle, I'm just putting a little flower. Doesn't have to be big or fancy, it just makes it look a little bit, it just helps to define it. It can be any design that you want, as I say, it's just to give it because the darker green will sink into it, but it gives it nice texture. So this lime green just makes it look a bit softer. So we've completed 3 of our greens with a nice pattern, and it looks quite textural and quite nice to look at and makes it different. So I'm now going to go into this green. I'm going to use this, which is more of a yellow green. It would blend into the back of this one very nicely, so I'm choosing that one here, and I'm going to try and do a little bit like tree branches, if you like, wavy, but you know, not straight lined. So we'll see how we go from there. So I've come down this one, a bit like a tree branch. I've done my stem and I've put a little circle at it, or a little loop, it doesn't matter which, and then I've taken out our little tree branches with a little loop at the end, and I've come back down this side in between them, and that gives us some texture. So I did draw this one in first to see if it would look all right. So now I'm just going to take it all the way up to the end. So I'll do this one first. So I've done all the green now, and I've taken away all my loose threads, and we've got quite variation of designs. Now these designs are all within everybody's capability. There is nothing out of the ordinary here, and if you need to learn how to do one or the other, you know, there's samples in the files. There's nothing hard about any of these. It's just, and you can do any design that you choose to do. So now I'm going to deal with the white, and I'm going to leave the bottom and I'm going to leave the very top. And I'm going to do what I call tucking the baby in. And it starts off with an oval shape. The first one I will draw in for you. So you've got an oval shape like that. And then we're going to come up and down, but each time you come down you must come into the baby. So you come around and down. So each time you must come up and come right the way down, so we get like a vortex, if you like. Or I'm going to use a silver metallic thread on the white, and it'll shine. You won't see it so much on the video, but you will see it whenever we come to finish off, and it looks okay. I'm using a Gutterman Silky metallic thread, and it goes fine in the machine. So now I've done one here, and I'm going to do my first one is an oval, like a teardrop. Then come up the width of your foot and down, the width of my foot and down, tucking it into the one previous one. So nothing hard about it, just remember to tuck it into the previous one, so it's not left hanging like a claw. And it works very well in the design. We're going to go up this way on all of this side, and then come back this way on the other side.